It's spring, and here in Alaska, it's unlike any other place in the world. Come and spend a spring day out here at our off-grid cabin in the wilds of Alaska. If this were evening time, I would fill that box all the way to the top and let it slow burn overnight. But it's morning time and I don't want the cabin to be roasting all day. So I just put about half the logs in there and we'll let that slow burn into the middle of the day. Kind of just barely let it go along, and then in the evening we'll load it up big. Otherwise the cabin will get too warm. Sounds like spring. I see a snowshoe hare running around. I hear some birds. I actually hear a turkey gobbling, which, if that's not the sound of spring, I don't know what is. There's something big moving around in the woods. It's probably a moose. I can hear some crunching. Spring is here, but spring in Alaska is a little different. Gotta start thinking about bears this time of year. It's still a little bit early for bears, waking up from hibernation. But you know what they say about the early bird? Well, the early bear, let's just say I don't want to be the worm this morning. Okay, let's go. Pups. He's clearing moose for me this morning. Always let the pups out first. They smell danger long before I will. Farm pup, he's a good patroller. That's what he gets from being on the farm. Oh! This is a nice little open area in here. I get asked all the time what kind of dog farm pup is. People don't believe me when I tell them he's all German Shepherd. There's like, is he a mix or something? No, he's full German Shepherd. He's just a giant. He comes from a line of German Shepherds that really specialized in herding. So, you know, if you had a herd of goats out on the hillside and you were just grazing the hills, these particular shepherds were trained to stay with the herd, circle the herd, kind of like a livestock guardian dog. But we've owned some livestock guardian dogs and We've been around livestock guardians in the past, and they have a much wider radius, you might say. Farm pup, he'll stay a lot closer to the herd. When he was a puppy, we learned that, raise him around your kids and your family. Keep him close, and you'll become his herd, and he'll stay close to you and protect you. And man, that has been so true. If any of the family goes outside, he goes out with them. He stays close, circles them. However, he's got a bit of a bad habit this time of year. That's a lot of moose poop. 1, 2, 3 all in the same spot. Big old mushroom. Something about the onset of spring, he just gets, the hunter wakes up in him and he starts chasing all these snowshoe hares all over the place. So I gotta make sure he doesn't run off too far while we're out in the woods here. Come on, pup. Come on, pup. So we're out doing a little bit of exploring this morning, just kind of exploring our land a little bit. Now that I've done so much inside the cabin, I want to start working on our homestead property and kind of get an idea of the lay of the land, what's out here and what resources we have. Firewood, birch trees for birch syrup. I also want to get an idea where the animals are moving, which reminds me, I wanted to hang up a couple game cameras just to keep an eye on the place. I need to find a good moose trail. This walking in this high snow's not working out. Come on, pup. I whistle train all my dogs because you can never keep track of them. You're out walking in the woods. Here he comes. Good pups, good pups. Good pups. There you go, good pups. Good boy. Good boy. Whew, it's tough getting around in this stuff. I need some snowshoes. I don't know why, when I was packing to come here, I left my snowshoes in Pennsylvania. That was dumb. So I got a big, beautiful pair of snowshoes sitting in the garage in PA at the farm. Oh, there's a good trail. There we go, moose trail. That'll be easy walking. Yeah, gotta follow the moose. I just hope you don't run into them. Much better, much better. Sit for a second. Spring in PA this time of year, I mean, you can get 80-degree days. Winters are cold. We're used to cold, snowy winters. We've had years where pretty much every year on the farm some pipes froze somewhere, but spring comes quick. We actually, last couple of years have been saying that we didn't even get a spring at all. It just went from like freezing cold winter to just like summer. Right now they're getting days where it's 80 degrees out, which Alaska, I mean, it's technically spring, but we had snow yesterday. It's still freezing cold at night. During the day, we're just starting to climb temperatures over freezing. A lot of people refer to this period a year as breakup because all the frozen parts of the road start breaking up, the river, everything in Alaska, the deep hard freeze starts to thaw, but as it freezes and thaws and freezes and thaws, things start to break up and the roads become a mess. You have mud and deep puddles and water flowing everywhere. It's a very messy time of year. On the farm we had mud season. Here in Alaska we have breakup. It's a beautiful time of year to come though. Actually, the very first trip I ever made to Alaska was in the spring. It's a good time of the year to see the aurora. You have really clear night skies. We've seen it the last couple weeks. We've seen it a couple times. Wildlife starts to wake up in the spring. It's still a little bit early for bears, but you can see moose moving around, and you can do some fun winter things while the weather is not quite so awful. So you can have a lot of fun visiting Alaska in the spring. It's beautiful seeing Alaska with the snow. In my personal opinion, there's 2 times you should come to Alaska. During the summer when the salmon are running, and the rest of the year after that. But actually 2 times. Come in like July when the salmon are running and summer is peaking and it's beautiful, July, August. And then this time of year, kind of the end of winter, beginning of spring, you get the winter experience without the harsh, hardcore winter. Oh, look at that, there's a burl on that tree. Oh, cool. Pups. I've walked the dogs. Now it's time to make coffee. The stove is definitely Mr. Skinny Legs approved. He's a big fan. He's like a little gargoyle perched on the side by this thing. He's like the little stove gargoyle. I do have to say this because we get the comment a lot. He stands by the stove. He likes the like warm heat of the stove, but our cabin isn't too cold for him. Our thermometer right now is reading inside the cabin 77 degrees. So it's not too cold for him inside the cabin. He just likes the stove heat. You know, cats like to lay in the sun. He just likes the stove heat. Missy. Yeah, because if it's too... I was out walking with the dogs this morning. It was so nice. Just like warm and beautiful. I've been making coffee on the wood stove now for a week or so, and a couple things I've learned. First off, you want to start your water. Ideally, what you want to do is just have a pot on the cooler side of the stove that just has warm water in it all the time. So you can use that for tea or coffee or cooking or whatever. If you start the morning off, you fill a pot of water and you just put it on the warming side, that'll bring the water close, because when it's time to boil your water, heat your water for coffee or tea, it does take a while if the water's cold. I forgot to put it on this morning, so this is going to take me a little bit of time, but I do have it over the direct heat. I got the heat on the wood stove turned up all the way. I got the dampers open and the heat settings on the wood stove turned up all the way, so we should have this hot. Plus, throwing the lid on top of my pot, that'll get this to boil quicker. So that'll bring it up to a boil, and then I can make coffee. Oh. This stove has a couple really cool features that I'm learning about as you go. So this is your first kind of damper air control here. You can close it or open that, and that sends oxygen in and heats up your firebox. But it has this really cool setting on the back. This is a hot air regulator, and it actually is barometrically controlled. So I can set this stove to cool or to medium, and as the stove comes up, this chain will move up and down according to temperature and let more air into the stove. And it also helps keep the stove from overheating. So right now I've got it up all the way. After a long night of burning, the stove was kind of on the lower setting. I turn it up, I let it come up to heat, make my coffee and tea, and then for the rest of the day I'll put it back to the cooler setting, and that damper on the back will close. I'll close off this one in the front and just kind of slow burn throughout the day, because otherwise the cabin just gets too warm. This heats a big space, and it does it really, really efficiently. No. Why she always want to touch that? Got a fun project today. So I've been thinking, I have like 1,000 little projects like the one I'm doing today. But honestly, I've been homesteading for 14, 15, going on like 16 years now. And what I've learned is you're never done building stuff. There's always some project, something you need, whether it's a building or like a shed or a chicken coop. You just never stop building. So you're always working on building projects, and working on building projects means you need to have your tools, you need to have your supplies, you need to have your power tools, right? I got this chop saw I'm using right now. And they all got to be in good condition, so you got to keep them dry and safe. Having all these tools and all these supplies and wanting to keep everything working clean and having a place to store maybe our ATV that we plow with and that sort of thing. I could really use a Homestead shop. Now, this summer, I just wanted to have fun. We moved last summer and we did a ton of work on the cabin here. And I wanted this summer just to be like fishing and hiking outdoors and just a good time. But I do get bored and I can't just like have fun every day. I gotta get something productive done on this homestead. So the more I think about it, the more I say to myself, you know what, this year it's time to start working on the off-grid Alaska homestead shop. A place to keep my tools, a place to keep my equipment. I'll probably put my solar system stuff in there, keep my generators warm. I'll have to put some heat in it, like the whole thing. Make it nice, do it right. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 17, 18. 18 pieces. I believe that's all I need. Yes. Oh, that's better. Because then you can hinge it. What we're being naughty again.
Thank you for asking.
Okay, moment of truth here. We're gonna test and see if my idea works. So.
Whose idea?
The accordion? Was the accordion your idea?
You're like, oh, that's a great idea. We gotta do that.
Whoops. Oh yeah, look at that.
You betcha.
So it looks like my wife's amazing idea is gonna work really good. Well, that's great. All right, I've I've put every one of these hinges on wrong. I've checked it, made sure I was doing it right, and then done it wrong. Maybe this last one I can get right. This is... Take our accordion style doors, little lock. We had an inside project done. Now it was time to head outside. Let's go. All right, kiddos. Spring is coming here to Alaska. The sun is warm. It's out for more than half the day now, and things are starting to thaw. So we're doing some spring cleaning here at the homestead because this has been a construction site for like 9 months, and it looks like a construction site. We want it to be nice and clean and beautiful. So we're going through. There's just a problem with spring cleanup here in Alaska. It's not something we can do in a weekend because there's so much ice everywhere. Gets inches and inches of ice. The ice here is probably 5 inches thick. And that means that you can't go and clean everything up in the weekend. We get to clean it up inch by inch. You got something like that. There we go. You got it. Going to keep. Put that by the trailer. We'll put that in inside storage. Flat, right? Like.
How do you like my ship?
I can't see anything.
Little steps.
Oh man. We'll go too fast. You don't have to.
Okay, we can just stand this. Snow out of it, and then just round it up until we got. Okay, it's a little bit frustrating because like you can never finish the job. Like this is a lot cleaner than it was, but it still looks like a bad mess, but all that stuff is frozen in the ice. So we got to give it another couple days for the sun to thaw the ice down. Same with back there, like there's so much less crap back here. It looks better, but it still looks like a mess because this stuff is all frozen. And this is just something, I've talked about this before. I've never seen this anywhere else in the world. I'm sure somewhere else in the world it gets like this, but I've never seen a place where you throw your scrap lumber in a pile in the corner and suddenly it's froze there all year long. So next year, we've already said no more throwing scrap in piles. We either process it right away or we stack it. If it's usable stuff, we stack it nicely up on pallets. But we can't just chuck stuff to the side and get it next week because you can't move it next week. But we're getting there bit by bit and it is looking better. A lot of the lumber that we've used on our off-grid cabin is rough sawn, untreated lumber. When you're outside doing a little work and you want to keep warm, it makes a great fire. Okay, so this is our UTV, and I went to use it the other day and it wouldn't start for me. So I'm gonna try today to jump it. I've got one of these little portable jumper packs, which I've had this since I came to Alaska, just in case I ever needed it, but I've never used it. So we're gonna see if it works. Let's see if we can get this started. They're pretty handy. You know, you can keep them in your vehicle. Make sure you always have a jump. I'll be honest, I've been shocked at times how many times I've needed a jump and asked people for help, and like person after person after person just says like, no, sorry, I can't. So to have one of these, even though I've not had that happen in Alaska, people are pretty good about helping their friends and helping people in need, but their neighbors. But let's see. Yeah, we're charging. For the most part, what I've noticed about Alaskans is there's a very much like help your neighbor, help someone in need out kind of mentality. And I really like that about Alaska. It has like this real neighborly thing where you just, you know, if someone's on the side of the road, you pull over, you make sure they're okay, you help them out. I was back in Pennsylvania, I was at a farmer's market and we had a battery go dead. And I probably asked 10 people before I got someone to say yes to helping me out with a jump. Just jump in a vehicle. It was like not a big deal. So yeah, it's one of those things where people are less and less likely to help a person out. So sometimes you got to just be prepared to help yourself out. And these things are, well, we'll see if they're any good. Seems to be working right now. I'm gonna let that keep charging. We'll try to fire this up in a bit. I want to get my UTV running because it's officially firewood season. I have to start gathering firewood for next year. Plus I have another cool thing that we're going to be doing on the homestead this year that I'll show you in a little bit. And I want to start putting in a trail so I can bring all the dead trees that are around the property in for firewood, and also this other thing we're going to be doing, which I'll show you later. So I want to start cutting in a trail. I'll need this to start working the trail, you know, working the path. I'll go out there with the chainsaw and start cutting in a little trail, but this will be nice to carry my tools and just get in and out. So let's see if we can get it started. Honestly, it's so beautiful today. I'm just finding excuses to work outside. Like I could work inside. I got a lot of work to do on our mud room still and other things, but I just want to be out here. I got a fire going. I'm tinkering around with projects and just enjoying being outside. I might even start trying to find some dead trees to go and get. Maybe we'll go for a little walk and find some dead trees. How's that sound, Bobo? You want to go for a walk? I'll go for a walk, Bo? Find some trees? Yeah. Want to go for a walk? Go find some trees? Yeah, I think so. Okay, been letting this thing run for a few minutes. Let's see. Okay, we got some lights. It's a good sign. Ooh, fired right up. Nice. That's great. Boy, that worked great. Like that, man. Little Noco boost. This is not a sponsorship. This is not, I just went and bought this thing, but I will put a link in the description if you're interested, because that is a handy thing to keep. Worked fantastic. Okay. Oh, that didn't weigh. That's good. Cool. I was excited we got the UTV started. I jumped in the driver's seat, and that's when I realized there was another problem. It was frozen, stuck in place. All right. Well, I've had this problem before. I'm going to put a little salt by the tires and start chipping away at it with my shovel and see if we can't break it loose. It's getting warm out. It's going to be t-shirt weather soon. Whew. Woo! Well, we can break a trail and I need to grab a sawzall and some nippers and a little chainsaw and start cutting a few little brush down and start breaking in a trail before the gets too soft. All right, I got the reciprocating saw, the sawzall, and I got this little chainsaw, which I picked up that little DeWalt chainsaw when we were cutting a hole in the cabin wall, and I really like it because it's not that powerful. I got I got a medium-sized like chainsaw Rancher Husqvarna. It's got a lot of power. This thing's kind of easy to use for little stuff like this. Okay. Yep, just gonna cut down all the little teeny scrubby brush. Come on, pup. Got some fresh moose poop over here and some fresh tracks right there. Those are pretty fresh right there. This looks wet and low in here. Got a couple good trees there. Oh, that might be a dead birch tree. I do want to get some firewood off my property. Anything that's standing dead should be in my cabin this coming winter. So what I should do is like tie a ribbon around it, and then this summer I can walk through the trails that I've cut and see the ribbons and look and see, are there any buds on the tree? Is it standing dead or is it still alive? And then I can take it down and already have trails to get it out. So this is like kind of prep for, now this is good higher ground here than down here. This is lower and wet. Over here is a great little path, but there's a big stump right there, and I won't clear that. It's a nice patch of trees. I don't like to take down mature trees unless they're dead or we're pruning. Looks like in here there's a lot of scrub brush, which it's gonna be a nightmare to punch through all that, but that's the trees I should be cutting. I don't wanna cut the big mature trees. I wanna cut the scrub. So I feel like if I can find a path through here that involves maybe only one or two of these bigger trees to cut, that'd be the way to go. It's a really nice time of year to be cutting trails. It's cool when you're out here working up a sweat, you're not getting too sweaty. There's no bugs. The ground's hard. So even if I get into like a little bit of a wet spot, it's gonna be solid. So I can put a trail in, then as things get wet, I can see where I should or shouldn't go. And maybe, you know, put in little catwalks or something to get over certain bad spots. Bones is going into hunting mode. I'd love to go this way, but that stump's just too big and I don't think I can get around it without dropping some bigger trees. Through path looks better. There's a lot of little stuff to cut, but it looks like a better option right now. We'll see as the snow thaws. Oh, you're working up a sweat there, buddy?
A friend of mine came to visit to help us with a couple of projects. One of them's really big and you're going to see it in an upcoming video. Guess down below what you think it might be. But today, John and his daughter were going to show us how to tap birch trees to make birch syrup, which is something very Alaskan.
And what I can do is I can just leave the extra hoses and taps with you if you come up with more.
Yeah, sure.
So like, this would not be a good tree to tap.
How come?
The top of the tree is dead. But then you've got these basically a new tree growing up out of the old one.
Oh.
See how it grows vertically out of there? So it's still accessing the same root system, but look at you've got like rotten heartwood right there. Like it's a tree that I wouldn't want to tap it because I don't want to weaken it any.
Yeah.
So it's not going to survive much longer to begin with.
So leave that one be. Is that a birch there, John?
Yeah. Pretty much anything that's not a spruce, right? Yes. Sometimes you'll have aspens and cottonwoods.
Oh, okay.
Like some birch, like paper birch, and actually all these young ones are very white. And typically you want to tap the south side of a tree. So I see the old hole right here.
Yeah.
You know, sap had dripped down out of there. This hole is not, I mean, I'll maybe cram some moss in there or something just to discourage it from leaking any.
Oh, okay.
So the new growth is fine and it should produce sap.
I love this tree.
Kind of take out one of these hoses
It's a thing these days.
and then just kind of gauge where we'll want to put it.
Got some over here, it looks like.
Alright, so we'll kind of maybe put a spout.
So we're clogging up the holes?
Yeah, those old
Let's
holes.
clog up the old ones. Okay, did you guys find some? Oh, you found some good moss.
They
Great.
got moss.
We don't need any more. You want that?
All right, guys, pay attention over here.
Oh, then you hammer it.
But so the spout length,
You gotta drill it first.
And then you
I put tape.
Which is what, John? About?
It's about an inch,
Oh, okay. You're looking there.
and kind of just compare. Okay, that's where it's going to be in this neighborhood here.
don't need the... We do need the moss.
And then just kind of I do a slight upward angle because you want it to be kind of flowing down out.
Sure.
And I just drill to the depth. And I always pull out while I'm still drilling in to shed as much of the stuff that's inside the hole. Right, that just pulls it back out. Okay, that should be fine. And then I just take a softer rubber mallet and I just kind of tap. That looks pretty good. You don't want to make it so hard that you can't get it out of there when you're done. So when we have days that are highs in the 40s and it still freezes overnight, that's when they really start to flow.
Okay.
So that's why we want to do it right now.
Yeah. Yep.
Ours we tapped a few days ago and nothing has happened yet. So you can drink it directly.
Ah.
You don't have to.
Nobody's out here drinking directly.
No, what you do, because you'll get bugs in there,
Yeah.
you get like moss and
put it
lichen
down.
and stuff. So we just
We don't need it.
pour ours in to another container to capture it all.
Okay.
Just pour it through like 2 layers of cheesecloth basically, and that just keeps the
Yeah, all
Bugs
the strings, all
and,
the stuff out.
bugs and sawdust and because there's a bunch of lichen on here.
Okay.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
You want to do it? All right. Let's go try it.
You can't lift it.
We're going to this guy over here.
I want to do it.
We had a big maple back on the farm in Connecticut, which the tap like, I think we did 4 taps in that. So remember what John showed us? We're going to drill to there.
Let's maybe right around this spot.
Okay. And a little bit of an uphill. Hold on 1 second. Keep going the whole time. Steady, steady. Keep going. You're good. Just keep running it.
Now pull it back out and get some of that crud out of there.
So ready? You got it? A little bit more. One more, John?
One more and get stuff
Clear
out
it
of
out.
the thing.
All right. Good job, bud.
Now let's see. It looks like to me like there's some moisture in that. So
Oh,
that's-
okay.
That might be nearly ready to flow. I mean, sometimes we've tapped trees and like it starts to come out
Right
like,
away,
right away. Yeah. All right, so you just put the, you know, I will do it reverse. All right, so I'll put the hose in there.
Oh, I like that.
Blow it.
Good job.
A little harder. There, it's going in.
Yeah, you getting it?
Yeah, nice direct hits. Okay, it's almost as far as it's gonna go. Final ones there. That seems that's good right there. It'll. So.
I can see the nest or the.
Behind it, I will.
Yeah, well, you know, let's.
Africa just too early. There's nothing. There is nothing. I was feather walking. There's a trap. What about like here?
Jars.
I wouldn't do
Not
glass
jars.
No, I guess I'll just
I think that right around there could work.
I think that's too springy.
Make a nice little pocket for our bucket to
Yeah.
kind of nestle and see that. A bit more.
clear out your secret trap.
There you go.
So,
That's good.
So we don't get a bunch of sawdust in it.
That looks like it might have been
Yeah, that might be too angled.
yeah.
There, you're fixing it. Now pull it back out.
Back.
All right.
While you're
good.
running in and out, okay, keep it spinning.
All right, that's
That's
probably
good,
deep
good.
enough. One more slow one.
Wow.
All right, pull it out. All right, blow through it. Get the sawdust out of there.
Bird tapping. I thought, and I was like, hey, tapping.
Okay. Well, let me give it like 2 more taps.
Oh, it's that. There you go.
Don't hit that thing.
Grab it from the bottom.
Okay, I think that might. Yeah, it's not going any farther than that. Okay.
Well, there's some moisture in there, but I don't think it's coming out of it.
Started heading in.
Right there.
I let the fire go out, so we're gonna gather up some kindling and get the stove going again. Sun's going down. It's like 8:15, 8:30. Still getting good sun right now. So nice. All right, I'm gonna get some kindling gathered up. We'll go inside and start a fire. Probably should empty the ash pan.
Next time, ask a big person for help. Yeah, well, that's apparently what controls that in the back does. When you turn the knob, it's like what's moving.
It's getting later in the day. After our big hike, everyone was getting hungry. So Kay decided to give a shot at making pizza in our new wood cook stove. We're new with the wood cook stove, so we weren't really sure how it was going to turn out.
Thirsty girl. It got hot. That'd be nice, actually. Get in there, fruit.
If only she had a shirt.
Oh yeah. Okay, we're gonna make, well, Kay's gonna make pizza in our wood cook stove. There are a lot of different ways we could do this. There's actually 3 different spots that you could make this pizza. You could cook it on a griddle up top here. You can bake it in the oven, or you can actually grill it in the firebox. And we don't know what the best option is here. We're gonna try, I think, the griddle top option today. I think in the firebox would be really great, the grilling in the firebox, but we don't even know how to do that yet. So for just today, I think we'll do this skillet griddle top and get like a nice crisp on the bottom, and then maybe throw it in the oven to get a little bit of like smoky finish.
There it is. What do you think?
That's gonna be great.
Oh, look at that. Melting cheese.
Okay, nice crispy brown bottom. Let's try our first bite. Awesome, this pizza turned out awesome. Crispy bottom, warm melty cheese. This is like pizza perfection. Pizza perfection.
If you enjoyed this spring day in Alaska, you should go check out my friend John's channel. You can learn a lot about homesteading in Alaska from him. He's got this really cool video where they butcher a moose and they inflate it. I've never seen this done before. It was something I learned watching one of John's videos. Here's another one where they built a horse barn for less than $5,000. Watching his videos, you can get a great glimpse of what it looks like living in Alaska off-grid from a family who's been doing it a long time. Click here to check out John's channel.